Shifting focus now to a CNN News 18 exclusive news break. The real face of Pakistan and its backing to terror stands exposed yet again. There is no line between state and non-state actors, which India has been claiming. Pakistan has once again proven India right. In the latest development, Punjab Assembly Speaker has defended Saifullah Khalid, the mastermind of the April 22nd Pahalgam terror attack. Malik Ahmad Khan claimed that the Indian government killed its own people and tried to pin the blame on terrorist Saifullah Khalid. The Speaker of Pakistan's Punjab Assembly is also under scrutiny for attending a rally of proscribed terrorist organization LeT, where its Deputy Chief Saifullah Kasuri, Talha Saeed, son of LeT founder Hafiz Saeed, were all seen. That makes it clear that there is absolutely no line between the terrorist organizations in Pakistan and the politicians who've been elected by Pakistan. The administration, the civilian government and terrorist organizations, proscribed terrorists in Pakistan, are one and the same. This after we had seen several army officials, several representatives of the ISI that were present at the funeral of the Pakistani terrorists that were killed during Operation Sindoor.
फुल्ला मुल्जिम है आपका, इल्ज़ाम तो लगाए ना। और अगर आपने एक परसेप्शन बना ली है और उस परसेप्शन में आप मुझे दहशतगर्दी का इल्ज़ाम बगैर तहकीक किए, बगैर इन्वेस्टिगेशन किए, आप इन्वेस्टिगेशन करते, तहकीक करते और तहकीक करने के बाद आप किसी को मोरद इल्ज़ाम ठहराते कि ये आपने तो 2 दिन के अंदर अंदर उसकी FIR भी काटी, उस FIR के भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन भी कोई कंप्लीट नहीं हुई, उसमें कोई एविडेंस नहीं है, कोई शहादत नहीं है, और आपने मेरी क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म कर दी। आपने जो दहशतगर्दी की, आप बड़े दहशतगर्द हैं कि सैफुल्लाह बड़ा दहशतगर्द है। मोदी जो अपने 25 लोगों को खुद कत्ल करके बहाना बनाता है, वो क्या कोई शख्स जो अपने हुलिये की बुनियाद पर जांचा जाएगा कि कौन दहशतगर्द है?
Siddhant now joins us, getting us more details. Siddhant, this is something that India has been saying time and again. Pakistan and its own leaders are proving India right, that there is no line between non-state actors and state actors. It's all one and the same. Terrorists, terror groups and politicians in Pakistan all work in tandem. How are intelligence sources here in India looking at that?
Well, that's right, Poonam. And in fact, time and again, Manoj Gupta has been reporting about how since the very first day, the footage of state funeral being given by Pakistani army personnel to the terrorists. Then we heard from Pakistani media that there is going to be the compensation which the government of Pakistan will be announcing for the terrorist families of Masood Azhar's, and in fact these markers will also be built on taxpayers' money. The government will build these markers. Now this is a fresh a video that has been accessed by Manoj Gupta, and in fact the intel sources are telling this to Manoj Gupta, that this public association between a ruling Pakistani political figure and known terrorist operatives has increased fears about a state stamp on extremist agenda. The presence of a top government leader alongside individuals designated as terrorists by the United States shows legitimate Indian concerns. His speakers say he attended the May 28 rally in Kasur because it was held in his hometown. He says this is a routine public event. He dismissed criticism by emphasizing local ties rather than addressing the presence of terrorists. In fact, he was asked about the presence of terrorists and he called it a routine public event. In fact, Punjab speaker is playing a double game, and this double game is on behalf of government in advocating peace in the parliament. So this is not for the first time, Poonam, that the evidence or a material is available for the Western world and in fact for the international community to see that how Pakistani government, Pakistani army is hand in gloves with these terrorists. In fact, the speaker of the Punjab Assembly is openly attending rallies where terrorists are participating, perhaps giving a strong message, giving a message also to the Indian government. So this once again exposes that how the terror camps, the cross-border terrorism in India is perhaps something which is a part of Pakistan's military's proxy warfare, and there are multiple evidence which suggests the same. And in fact these videos, these footages and these materials are very much part of a dossier which Indian government is handing over to various world capitals, Indian multi-party delegation.
Right. Do stay on with us, Siddhant. Former diplomat Deepak Vora also joins us on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. You know, the kind of self-goal, if you will, Pakistani leaders, Pakistani politicians indulge in, because this is exactly what India has been saying, that the administration, the civilian government, the ISI, the army, they're all hand in glove with terror organizations, and time and again, Pakistan's own exposed them on the global platform.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. I was listening to your discussion. Your report is brilliant. So are you. I love this term non-state actor. What does that mean? Who invented this term? Let's take the case of Apple. He's not part of the government, is he, in India? The company called Apple? Or any big corporation? Does he become a non-state actor? I'm not quite sure. I don't even know who invented this term. NGOs, they are not part of the state, of the government. Are they non-state actors? What about individuals? What about civil society? What about your television channel? Are you a non-state actor? Anyway, what we are looking at is people whom the Pakistani state encourages to commit acts of terrorism, and then said, look, these guys are non-state actors, whatever that. They don't hold ministerial posts in the government, or they're not civil servants in Pakistan. This kind of nonsense they do. Now, ma'am, I have a question here again to the millions of people who watch your show. I mean, your channel is insanely popular, as are you. The major thrust, the major recruitment area for terrorism, for people wanting their 72 churels in whichever world they will go to after this. Do you know that it's the Punjab region of Pakistan, particularly as far as India is concerned? All these kasab characters, no Pashtun, I say this very slowly, ma'am, no Pashtun will want to hate India. No Sindhi would, no Baloch would. But the Punjabi Mussalman will, because he's been brought up to believe this. So when this joker, this clown, what is his Speaker of the Assembly or some rubbish like that, and his Chief Minister, when they spew venom against India, it's only to be expected. What is their concern? And this, again, I'll tell you, based on my conversations with people from that part of Punjab, which is now Pakistan. I come from the Punjab. Well, my mother was a Sikh, my father was a Pathan. But what I can tell you is that what I see when I talk to them, they say, look, we don't like you. Because at the time that India was divided, the Pakistani part of Punjab was way ahead. Now you guys are miles, trillions of miles ahead of us. That is Indian Punjab. So we don't like you. And we have to keep troubling. That is the mindset. And to change that is not going to be easy. Of course, we have all the evidence. We've given it. Our delegations have gone. We give it to everybody. We give it to the big powers. Nobody really cares because they're all involved in their own individual things. Yet, at the same time, we cannot relent. We have to keep up the pressure. Therefore, I believe that we're on the right track. We are telling the world that this nation is the epicenter of global terrorism. When in the 90s, when I was posted in the United States, we used to tell the American that, look, the Pakis are terrible chaps. Look what they're doing. Yeah, this is a third world issue between you and Pakistan. It's a law and order issue till 9/11 happened. And then they came running to us. I was involved and said, oh, where's the file you gave us? We said, what happened to your file, which we gave? Oh, we put it somewhere we can't find it. So when it hurt them, suddenly they become very active. When it hurts Europe, suddenly they become very active. But when we are involved, they are not going to, thinking that God Almighty will protect. So we are doing the right thing. You are doing the right thing, keeping the focus on this clown and the other people from that particular state. And now within the country itself, ma'am, the terrorists who are hitting Pakistan, this is again very interesting. It's Pashtuns. It's Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. No Punjabi terrorist is hitting Punjab. So it's fascinating to try and understand this. So it's the Pashtun, the Sindhis, the Baloch who are clobbering the state, not others. So therefore, my own feeling is that we are doing the right thing. These guys don't understand all these videos that surface. This becomes proof. And there is this professor called Professor Google who won't let you forget this even after 1,000,000 years. This is going to remain in the public mind. So thank you very much for doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. And Pakistan will have to face the writing on the wall at some point or the other. It's a fight that has unfortunately taken us longer than it should have, but India will persist. But Deepak Vora, I ask you to stay on with us because we have more evidence, more video proof that's now trickling out of Pakistan. In fact, the Punjab Assembly Speaker in another video is heard glorifying Hafiz Saeed, stating that his father and Hafiz Saeed were like brothers. Many would say, including Deepak Vora, I believe, that this comes as no surprise. But let's listen in to what the Speaker of the Pakistan Punjab Assembly had to say.
मेरा सैफुल्लाह कसूरी साहब की निस्बत प्रोफेसर सलाह साहब के साथ मेरी तल्लुकदारी किसी ऐसी बुनियाद की वजह से नहीं है। मेरा एक रिश्ता है हाफिज सईद साहब के साथ, मेरे वालिद मरहूम के साथ उनका बहुत गहरा तल्लुक था। मलिक रशीद साहब के साथ उनका भाइयों जैसा रिश्ता है। हमें इनके साथ इस मरकजी मुस्लिम लीग को हम अपनी दूसरी जमात समझते हैं और हम समझते हैं कि ये लोग पाकिस्तान की खिदमत करने वाले लोग हैं।
Siddhant also is with us on this broadcast. Siddhant, this particular individual, this Speaker of the Pakistan Punjab Assembly, seems to be a repeat offender when it comes to showing his love for proscribed terrorists and terror organizations. Do we have any details of when these videos are from that we've just put out for our viewers?
Well, Poonam, the larger question here is that, these videos are in public domain. In fact, Manoj Gupta has been bringing these materials for us from last 1 month. Having said that, the important point which needs to be highlighted here is that it's the same Pakistan which was demanding neutral investigation in Pahalgam terror attack. Now, their own leaders, political figures, Speaker of the Punjab Assembly, and in fact their army, all are hand in gloves with the Pakistani army. Now, the Speaker of the Punjab Assembly is saying that, I have a huge respect for Hafiz Saeed. We have our relationship goes back to my father's time, etc., etc. So, in such scenario, world should also understand, the international community should understand that the Pakistan is demanding neutral investigation. It is nothing but a hoax that Pakistan tries to create after every terror attack. When their own political figures, their own speakers of the assembly is giving so much respect to UN designated terrorist Hafiz Saeed, perhaps how can India or international community trust on Pakistan when Pakistan demands a fair investigation or says neutral or gives a call for a neutral investigation, etc., etc. So these materials, these evidence perhaps makes India's case even more solid, even more stronger before the international community, Poonam. And this is just one tip of an iceberg. With each passing day, we are getting one or the other videos where either a Pakistani army officials or somebody from the mainstream political party, the compensations being announced, the madrasas are being built, etc., etc. So there are a list of such activities which have taken place in last 1 month. Once again proves that Pakistani army is in hand in gloves with these terror organizations, and
Absolutely.
Pakistan cannot be trusted. So this entire demand for investigation, for a neutral investigation, or when Pakistan says that India did not cooperate in 26/11 investigation, when Pakistan says that India did not cooperate in the after the Pathankot attack. So world should at least look at these videos, these materials available very, very seriously, and then do the assessment of Pakistan's real character.
Absolutely,
Because
but
this
more
is
often
Pakistan's
than not,
real character.
unfortunately, the world does not want to play a part in this unless it actually affects them, and that's what we've been discussing, Deepak Vora, as well. So what can India do next? Of course, we've sent out our MPs, our former diplomats across the world to take this message of why Operation Sindoor was necessary, what it is that Pakistan has been doing for decades together, pushing terror. But what more can we do for somebody, for either America or for Europe, or for somebody to see the writing on the wall and rein in a hostile state like Pakistan?
Ma'am, that's a very interesting question. I just heard your colleague referring to the international community. I love that term. Is Vanuatu the international community, or is the United States and China the international community? Is Tuvalu the international community? Is Lesotho, where I'm special advisor to the government, international community? They're very nice terms to use. The fact, as you also have mentioned right now, is the so-called international community couldn't care less till it hurts them directly. This is what happened to America, this is what happened to Europe, and suddenly they woke up and said, terrible fellows. Now, Chanakya, my guru, all of us diplomats, here's what I read every day. I hope you can see the title of the book. It's Chanakya Niti. I see this. I wake up to this every morning. I read it. What has he said? He's talked about hitting your adversary through what we call the triple lock. The first is reputational. You know, ma'am, when this joker, Osama, son of Laden, was hit and killed somewhere in Pakistan, was it Abbottabad, I think, where he was killed. The whole world knows this because of the international media, because of social media today. So Pakistan's reputation is already shredded. They couldn't care less. When you're on death row, you don't care. That's the first thing, reputational. Second, Chanakya talked about was economic demise of the concerned country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi very clearly said कि आपकी हेकड़ी खत्म कर दी, now you'll have a begging bowl in your hand and you'll go around begging. We are seeing that. And the third thing that Chanakya said, at the right time, the military dimension comes in, the third lock, which we have proved during Operation Sindhu. So with this, Pakistan stands exposed. The reality also is they couldn't care less. So what? Their only relevance is that if you don't listen to me or you don't give me money, then in one hand I'll carry a begging bowl, in the other I'll carry a half-kilo nuclear bomb and I'll come and hit you. Now this is the kind of logic that these fellows are indulging in. And I believe that it's going to come back to haunt them. When? I don't know. I'm 74, 52 years in diplomacy. I don't know if during my lifetime. But what I've understood now is, and which is very, very clear, all those fellows who said Pakistan's stability is very important for India was arrant nonsense. This is what I was told when I joined the Foreign Service in 1973. Ma'am, Pakistan's survival in its present form is no benefit to mankind. Pakistan's breakup in its present form is no loss to mankind.
And we hope the world wakes up to it, that India manages to keep the pressure on and hopefully in your lifetime, Deepak Vora, we will see something change as far as our hostile neighbor is concerned, because we can't change who our neighbor is. We can really hope that the neighbor changes its ways or mends its ways after India has applied the pressure. But I request you to stay on with us.
Network 18 is now the clear leader in digital media, with 55% more users on native platforms and social media than Times Internet. Network 18, the undisputed leader of news networks, way ahead of the times.